Ullas is our student who got recommended in his first attempt for Indian Navy as a pilot. Right before he completed his course, so he fell ill, and he came down with jaundice and dengue. In fact, recovering from all of that, able to make it in his first attempt, and he got recommended.
I was very passionate about aerospace and aviation since my childhood. Father is happy that I'm getting a central government job. Initially, he was an auto driver, and then we took cab, we purchased Indica.
Okay.
So since then, he's a cab driver. Right now, So we sold Indica, and we have Maruti Suzuki Desire right now. So he's a cab driver. He's in Bangalore. My mom is proud and also scared that I'm getting into armed forces. And then the thing is that my mom even now says that my dad has been worked hard for anything. It is my job to take over now.
Certainly.
And then and let them live peacefully with no worry. And he was very hard working. He steps out of his my house from morning 8, and then he'll return back in the evening 8 or 9. So innocence and hard work is the two major things which I get from my dad. So while I was preparing, I contacted him since he was also looking into defense. I contacted him, and then I came across Road to Recommendation. And then I texted you around 1.5 months before I started with you, and then on the day I registered on with your course, I fell ill. I was hospital. I got admitted to hospital, and then completely 2 weeks I was hospitalized with jaundice and dengue. I was able to clear gate thrice aerospace paper.
That's crazy.
So finally, even after clearing SSB, what I've understood, it's that all about personality. How good as a civilian you are. How good as a civilian you are.
Okay, that's interesting.
And if you are serious and responsible in your life, you take responsibilities for your action. You can.
They have a perfectionist approach.
Yeah.
कि करेंगे तो बिल्कुल सही से
Now,
करेंगे.
one thing which I learned from this is that whatever we do, if we do our part and leave the rest for anything, whatever it is, and that should be good enough, and that should be
possible manner,
And finally, out of there was one more guy who was quite confident and who spoke well in his narration. So me and him got screened in my batch. So out of 204 people, 24 people got screened in. Yeah.
So hi guys, this is Shashank and you're watching Road to Recommendation, and today I have a very special guest with us. This is Ullas, and Ullas is our student who got recommended in his first attempt for Indian Navy as a pilot, right? And he's going for he got recommended from 12 SSB, NSB, Bangalore, right? So in this particular story, why is he a very interesting fellow? Because I'll tell you. What happened is right before his SSB, what happened is he was about to go for the SSB, he was enrolled in the course, and right before everything started, right before he completed his course, so he fell ill, and he came down with
jaundice and dengue.
Jaundice and dengue, in fact. So imagine. So recovering from all of that, Ullas was able to make it in his first attempt, and he got recommended. So that's what we'll try to understand. What he did right, what all things were very specific, and how his experiences were. But most of all, the most important thing is that how he came about in this preparation, because I think that's what most people want to know. Someone comes from a civilian background, someone comes from a defense background, someone from various backgrounds, people from various backgrounds come to forces. That's the beauty of the diversity, right? So people want to know what motivated Ullas, and that's what we'll be trying to explore. So in that, let's get started. So a very warm welcome to you, Ullas.
Thank you, sir. Hello, guys.
Yeah. So all right. So as I said, Ullas, people are more interested in getting to know about from where an aspirant comes from, right? So would you mind telling them about your family life, your childhood, what motivated you exactly, how you came to this idea?
Hi guys, so I'm basically from Bangalore. I was born and brought up there, and completed my BTech 2023, and I worked for a year, and right now I'm doing my masters. I'm currently doing my masters, so I might have to masters in aerospace engineering from IIT Madras.
Okay.
So and main reason for our forces is that I got to do my NCC in Army Wing in my 11th and 12th, where I completed my B.Tech, B certificate. And I wanted to go for RDC. And after 12th, I enrolled my engineering courses.
Okay.
Because of that, I had to change college, and then I had to change the battalion and everything. And
You were not able to
I was
achieve.
not able to join because of various issues there, and with my enrollment and everything, I was not able to give NC selections there.
Okay.
And after that, I thought doing it next year, and then COVID happened. So that remained unfinished for me, the RDC dream.
Acha.
And along with that, I was very passionate about aerospace and aviation since my childhood. So going back
that's
to my
interesting.
childhood, I lived in a place called Adgodi in Bangalore.
Okay.
It's near to Koramangala.
Acha.
So
acha.
there initially, the original airport, the HL airport is close by, and I used to
Acha.
see aircraft day in day out daily. That from that part, I had every day I used to see aircraft, and I used to see the landing gear getting retracted.
Yeah.
So
That's
I wanted to follow. I even right now, if I open my old notebooks, my sister has it. So my aspiration was to be an aeronautical engineer.
Oh, that's
So
nice. That's
yeah,
nice. Crazy.
so I wanted to follow that path also.
Okay.
And then NCC did not happen, and then I was doing my aerospace in aerospace in my B.Tech.
Engineering,
And
So
yeah,
your B.Tech is also from
yeah,
aerospace itself.
yeah.
That's interesting.
And then I was until the end of my engineering, I was looking into aerospace and aviation field for my, be it research or be it any industry oriented. And I came across AFCAT back then, AFCAT and Armed Forces, different entries for it. And to be honest, I gave AFCAT. That was during my end of engineering. I don't think I was busy with it, but I was busy with my new joining, and I had done my internship. So initially, as soon as I went, there was a lot of work waiting for me there.
Acha.
So I understand it is one of the good exams to give, but for some reason I was not able to crack it.
Okay.
And one of my friend cracked it, and she's in AFA right now.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so she joined this in July, and I came across
Aviation.
naval, and they have pilot entries for Navy
yeah,
also, and
okay.
I applied.
So you're coming from a completely civilian background.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. And like how. So we discussed earlier also that your family has a mixed reaction. So you wanna elaborate more along those lines?
Yeah, my father is happy that I'm getting a central government job. He always wanted me that. My mom is proud and also scared that I'm getting into armed forces. And for us, it's not very common for a guy to stay very away from for a long and work. So my mom is
in your,
quite sad about that.
I mean, we're talking about your family traditions and this thing.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, she's happy. She's very proud. But yeah, on the same time, she's sad that I should stay away from home.
For all the festivals and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So, more about your father, because I mean,
Huh. So my dad is in Bangalore from past 50 years. And
50 years. Okay.
Yeah. So he came to Bangalore at the age of around maybe 10 or something.
Acha.
And initially he was an auto driver.
Acha. That's
till,
crazy, bro.
Yeah. So till 2016, I guess 2016. And then we took cab, we purchased Indica.
Okay.
So since then he's a cab driver. Right now, so we sold Indica and we have a Maruti Suzuki Desire right now.
That's
so
crazy.
he's a cab driver. He's in Bangalore.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. I mean, it must have been a major sourse of happiness getting to know.
Yeah. That was my interviewing officer was quite interested in my father, and my motive to stop his hard work and
We want to. I'm sure everyone wants to know more about your father now. Yeah, definitely. So, what? I mean, just want to know more about your father. What is his story? And
back then he started working. Do you know looms, where they make saris?
Yeah.
He started. He stopped his education at the age in his 5th standard, and then started working. because some other reasons in his
Yeah,
family.
no.
And then he after a while, I don't know exactly his age when he came to Bangalore, but majorly he was raised by his grandparents
Okay.
in his village.
Okay.
His mom, my grandmother, died when he was at the age of 2. So it was hard, and then he had his stepbrothers, 3 stepbrothers, and then
Acha.
and he had a elder brother. So he majorly after he since he started working at 5th standard itself, he looked after their upbringing also,
What?
like with the help of, like he took care of their fees also to some extent,
Uh,
along with his elder brother.
was it was it a choice, him not studying, or was it because
Uh,
of the conditions that the family was going
I guess it is a mixture of both. I guess because back then they not actually know the importance of studying, and then
Studying, yeah.
so yeah, they had to, and then their source of living was to work and to then eat from the whatever they earn.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
they did not have a broader. I feel that is what a broader mindset of studying and then going out and then reaching out to new and getting more exposure in this area.
yeah,
Since they got to know the way of working and then that paid out at that time.
Uh.
So I guess they continued with that, and growing up, he might have realized. Maybe about the education and stuff. His elder brother, he worked also. He helped him, and both of them helped there. But he studied. He studied till what? Not sure. Diploma or something, and then he's there. Diploma
his
in
elder
something.
brother.
Yeah, his elder brother. And then they both of them helped their younger brother with their studies.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
so fulfilling.
and then the thing is that my mom even now says that my dad has been worked hard for like anything. So it is my job to take over now,
certainly.
and then and let them live peacefully with no any other tensions.
Yeah, definitely. So he still works as a
Yeah,
cab driver.
cab
your
driver in
father?
Bangalore. Yeah.
That's crazy. So what did he teach you since childhood?
It's more like what I learned looking at him. He not particularly come and teach me, but one thing is he's very innocent. He's very innocent.
That's crazy.
It's like anyone can take advantage of him in like anything.
Achha.
So yeah, and all the good qualities, like even from young age, he used to tell me, talk this way to people, talk that way to people. That's not the way to talk to people. How you respect
That's
by
so
your
sweet
words
of
to elders. So hogi bunny means like go and come. How you tell that's in Kannada.
Okay.
So it's like that. Even whenever in my youngest, me and my younger sister, whenever we spoke wrong, he used to correct me at that point.
Achha.
How to talk properly with elders.
That's so sweet.
And even now in the place Adgodi, if I go to my neighbors, they even say that at younger age itself you guys were talking very good. Even now they recognize that that I was brought up that way. So all credit goes to my dad and my mom.
That's crazy. And so what else did you learn growing up from?
So yeah, and he was very hardworking.
Okay.
Next level hardworking. If he goes out of, he steps out of his house, my house morning 8, and then he'll return back in the evening 8 or 9. So innocence and hard work is the two major things which I get from my dad.
That's crazy. So how did you find, so coming from such beginnings, from such a socio-economic background, so the next question naturally, I mean, we've already, I think we've already talked about that also. Okay? You got inspired when you saw, you lived right beside HAL, right? So that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, so you live in a joint family, do you?
No, me, my mom, dad, and then my younger sister.
Achha. Okay. So you guys have a nuclear family.
Yeah.
Interesting. And how far is your home from your Adigode?
Adgodi. That was around 5-6 kilometers. But since aircraft, it's aircraft landing, right? So you can see it from anywhere close.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, interesting. Very nice. Yeah.
And then I wanted to do anything. I was fixed that I'd do engineering. I wanted to do something different other than the routine circuit branches like computer science or EC or anything. I wanted to do I wanted to try something different also. And I had this option of, after my 12th, I had this option of aeronautical, aerospace, and marine. And marine had to rule out because of other reasons. It was quite far, expensive and stuff. And I stick with aeronautical and aerospace. And then with this, I got aerospace in BMS College of Engineering in Bangalore through my CET.
Okay, that's interesting. BMS College of Engineering.
Yeah.
It's Basaveshwara.
Bhushana Nayana Mukundadasa Srinivasaya.
Okay. So I think Basaveshwara is a very popular figure around there.
Yeah. Basavana Gudi is where it is there. We have a big bull temple there. So my college is right opposite to that.
Acha, okay. Yeah. That's interesting. That's crazy. So, okay. So, from there, Ullas, also, like, let's move towards your SSB attempt. This time, how did you prepare? How did you start your preparation? In which year did you get, so I think your friend who qualified the AFCAT, so from there you got the insight कि okay, ठीक है, this is something that I can also go for. So उसके बाद फिर how did you begin with the preparation and stuff?
Yes. So as I told, my main motive for defense is because I was not able to complete RDC and I loved my NCC life, the adventures and the way it was. So I with the combination of my passion for aviation, aerospace, and then combined with this, I thought it would be a good place for me to be, both for myself and whatever to the nation which I'm serving.
Definitely.
And so coming to preparation part, I applied in February. After February, another 2-3 months down the line, I got to know that from the website I've been shortlisted, and I was waiting for my SSB dates.
SSB dates.
And then I guess in the month of May or June, May end, I guess, I got my SSB dates as August. And I was just going through the SSB procedure and stuff from YouTube and everything. And my friend had explained a bit before she went. So and she also trained, and she also cleared in her first attempt.
Oh, that's
hers was.
I think it's a going trend between your friends.
Yeah. And then I came across my friend Yashas, who is also a defense aspirant. He was my BMS friend. So even he's trying through studios right now. And then
he would have made it in the first attempt itself. But I don't know, somehow it's just like, I think it was just that 5% luck factor.
Yeah, and also he had a rough path. Recently his dad expired 1 year back, and then and one more thing was,
despite all of that, he was capable, I think.
Yeah, but his passion was there. It was the scene. It was scene, and he was ready. And he had an injury also, leg injury.
Acha, I was not aware of that.
Yeah, he was hospitalized for a while.
Acha.
And then his dad passed away. So yeah,
saddens the heart.
So while I was preparing, I contacted him, since he was also looking into defense. I contacted him, and then I came across Road to Recommendation, and then I texted you, and then before that also I was I had Colonel Natarajan sir's book. I was practicing with that, going
Commander.
through going through that basics. What actually is the process?
SSB,
so what type of psych test will be there? What type of how does the interview happen?
You do have a knack for self-study and stuff.
Yeah. So
more than any other regular defense aspirant.
So the thing is that I got into IIT Madras with my GATE score of 2023.
My God.
So I was able to clear GATE thrice aerospace paper.
That's crazy.
That is one part where I was more into technical papers compared to these social science related. So that is why I was not able to. I don't know. I was not able to adapt for AFCAT paper. That might be one of the reasons. I told the same thing in the interview also. They asked me why were you not able to clear AFCAT, and also I had given NDA in my after my 12th. So interviewer asked me. So I told that this was
definitely, if you qualify GATE thrice, then I don't think AFCAT is much of this thing. It's just about the practice.
It's about the practice and adapting to the paper. So that is where I lagged, and I was like, yeah, fine. And then going through the preparation around 1.5 months before I started with you, and then on the day I registered on with your course, I fell ill. I was hospital. I went. I got admitted to hospital, and then completely 2 weeks I was hospitalized with jaundice and dengue.
Uh,
Uh, but yeah, before that I had practiced few psych tests, not that much, but I did not have any reviews, which is very important when it comes to this preparation. And then after coming back from and that was the time when I had just left my company. So I worked as a stress engineer in a company called Belcan.
oh, that's interesting.
So where Airbus were our clients. So worked for Airbus.
So crazy.
aircrafts.
All the hotshot companies coming up in your name.
So yeah, and then I just resigned with my company, and in a gap of 1 week I was supposed to go to IIT Madras and get complete my admission procedure, and then that is when I fell ill, and that is the time where I started my SSB preparation. And then
More about that time, like when
yeah,
you
it
were
was
in the
like
hospital.
everything all at once for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even though I didn't know what the procedure was in IIT Madras, so a few of my friends were going, and then through them I contacted, and then I got some extended period for reporting there.
Joining.
Yeah, and
So
after
currently you're pursuing your masters
Yeah.
from IIT Madras.
yes,
Crazy. You should have thought about that at an earlier point.
yeah, but everyone says that to me. So when they after a few series of questions, they get to know about IIT Madras. They're like, you should say this in first.
Exactly, bro. It's
Yeah.
not something you hide from the world.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that goes to tell, like, that you like to hide the best part for the later.
So yeah, so after like going through the preparation and then getting reviews from you and Neha ma'am, so finally even after clearing SSB, what I've understood, it's that all about personality, how good as a civilian you are, how
very
good as a
nice.
civilian you are.
Okay, that's interesting.
And if you are serious and responsible in your life, you take responsibilities for your action, you can get in and get recommended.
Certainly,
Is what
certainly.
I've heard. I've learned. If you're serious and responsible, you'll obviously put hard work for what you want. So you'll obviously get it. If you show this, if you show the same thing in interview, then that should be
Yeah,
what I feel.
exactly. And so, like, being just serious. Or, there are other kinds of people who get selected, but definitely, like, the most ideal ones are those who actually, like, who are upright.
Yeah.
So, fine. So, yeah, okay. So, that's interesting. And so let's talk about slightly more about, like, during the period when you were in the hospital. Did you prepare? What did you do?
Yeah, so
what was going through your
during
mind?
hospital, after 2-3 days, I was like feeling better and everything. I had carried my laptop with me there, so I tried making some notes from your classes, from recorded classes and everything. And I requested doctor if we can get discharged earlier and everything, but they suggested that I stayed there for the specific amount of time which they suggested.
Okay.
With
You can't argue with the doctor.
Yeah, that's
obviously.
what.
Yeah.
And then I had my laptop with me, and then I tried going through classes. I tried making notes. I was not completely 100% successful with like being more efficient and everything, but I tried my part. So
Okay.
which how much ever time I was able to
dedicate.
I was able to do, and I made the most out of it.
Okay,
So during
fine.
that time.
And according to you, what helped you the most throughout everything? Like, so any specific part just like, which you did, which you think that worked wonders
Uh,
for you?
it's that way. I can say that I was always during my college also, I was always overwhelmed with my work. So, for example, in my college, when I was studying, there would be one side academics going on. I was part of throwball team in my college. So the throwball team was going one side, and then along with that, I was part of 2 technical clubs where we were trying to build satellite.
Acha.
So I was head of that club. So all these things were going on. So every time, whenever when after 11th also 12th also I had a lot of exams going on. During my engineering also it was this way. I was always overwhelmed. And during SSB also I had my health issues. I was moving to IIT Madras. Along with that I had another interview with DRDO. So I gave in DRDO interview and I had this preparation. So
You used to hustling.
I've been so I after some point of time I got used to it. So yeah, sometimes I feel heavy, but that is how I've been throughout. So
Yeah.
that kind of, I guess, that kind of helped me.
Help you, definitely.
And pushing it through, even though I'm not 100% efficient in everything, but I was able to manage.
I think this is a very underrated thing that people tend to. They have a perfectionist approach.
Yeah.
है ना कि करेंगे तो बिल्कुल सही से
Now,
करेंगे.
one thing which I learned from this is that whatever we do, if we do our part and leave the rest for anything, whatever it is, and that should be good enough, and that should be
best possible
happy.
manner, yeah.
Whatever is givable from our side, whatever is doable from our side, if we do, that should make us happy, irrespective of the result.
I wish you just move on and not hold anything.
Yeah, even I failed NDA, I failed AFCAT, I was not able to clear DRDO interview, but SSB happened.
Yeah, that's
So,
crazy,
yeah.
bro. That's crazy.
I started believing this a lot after my SSB. So whatever from our part is supposed to be done, if we do that thoroughly with our 100% dedication, that should be good enough. That should be a good result for ourselves.
Definitely.
Irrespective of the outcome.
People go into a lot of guilt trips and stuff, because I usually get messages of people, sir, aisa ho gaya, like, maybe a similar situation that you were in, like, they fell ill right before the SSB.
Yeah.
Now going into the SSB, they will have that in the back of their mind. Okay, so they'll be stressed about that part more than the actual performance. That the situation that's evolving there. So I think
and that way, I was since I was preparing for SSB, I just moved to IIT Madras. I was settling up there, and then DRDO interview I was preparing separately. I was not able to get it, but I performed pretty decently, so I was happy about it, irrespective of the outcome.
For the DRDO interview as well.
And then again, so I had to dedicate myself a few time for SSB, few time for DRDO, and few time for the classes which is going on. Irrespective of, so when I come to SSB, I was just concentrating what is required there. So which is a good possible way I project myself. And that is the main major. So when it goes to DRDO, how in depth I can study about the subject. So it was segregated that way. I was not mixing both of them.
Both the things.
Yeah. So if we see what's the basic purpose of what we are doing and stick on to that, then other things shouldn't matter. Whatever is going on. So yeah.
Great, yeah. That's one thing that possibly, like, people can learn. Definitely, because I mean, ultimately, shit is going to happen. To be honest, we just have to be prepared to deal with it. And not take it to the head.
Yeah,
much. Not like,
how much ever prepared we are. At last point of time, anything might happen. It might blow up our complete
composure and definitely 100%.
So yeah. If we just think about main motive from these days is, if we just stick on to what I am responsible of and what I am supposed to do, and if we just concentrate on that and be 100% true to ourselves, that should be good enough.
Definitely.
Instead of thinking, that happened, this happened.
I could have done this, I could have done that, this and that. Yeah. Definitely, bro, definitely. So I think that's that when we talk about the preparation strategy, right? And so apart from this, let's talk about your SSB experience. So when you went to the SSB, so what exactly happened? How did you deal with the things? What was your experience? Starting from the screening part, what was your strategy? What did you have in mind? How were you able to execute? How many people were appearing? And details like this.
Yeah. So on August 18th, I guess. Yeah, August 18th, it was 12 SSB board Bangalore. Since everyone were telling that for this is direct entry, right? So we can expect more number of people reporting.
Yeah, yeah.
So there were around 204 people reporting.
Okay.
And then I was quite, and that to 6 in the morning. I was first time I was seeing completely all the different aspirants coming
So
from different
many,
parts of
yeah.
country. I was like, oh my god, what is this? I don't know what. And then person first time like whom I met first, he had like 8 attempts. Like,
Okay.
I took it back and then I like challenged it through me.
Yeah.
And then it was like people were coming. I was like, I don't know how many people they're gonna select from this. I don't know if you can make it or something. I was like, chalo, kya hoga, dekh lenge. Bas.
True.
And then went in during screening in process. It was quite hazeled image, and then it was like one part of the image was completely like safed white, and then other part there were people standing, and there was one main character holding some kind of knife or a stick, which wasn't clear. So and then it was quite tricky image, and then those 4 minutes will feel like 4 seconds to you. And the time will go like this. So I somehow came up with a story of some competition where a knife fight competition, something like Kalipal 2 in
That's
which is a traditional art form in Kerala. And then I wrote a story on it, telling a competition. And then so given that it was like a main character standing in the side and talking to someone else. So I wrote it as where a main character, our hero is in a half break. So he's being they are being toe to toe in the finals, and then he talks with his coach, and then he changes his method, and then he being defensive, he goes aggressive more, and then he wins.
Oh, that's interesting. That's nice.
I made, and then the villagers were happy who came to support him. So this was it. And then in the
that's one unique story. Like, you know, I haven't had any story heard any story like this for a while now. Yeah, so that's nice.
So and then after that they divided us into 15 people in a group, and then sent for group discussion. And sitting in the group, everyone narrated, and then I confidently narrated. Being confident is the major key in when it comes to narration and being in group tasks.
Sure.
So don't worry about. I did not worry about my language. But I was sure to show my confidence with my face. So
okay.
And then with that, and even I had not it was not dominating voice. I had good voice when I spoke, which others can loud enough. Others can make note. And there was one more interesting story. I as soon as the group discussion started, I was about to choose that, and I was suggesting that, and someone else suggested my story itself.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, chalo, okay, fine. Fine.
Achha, okay. So I thought someone was trying to steal your idea. But they recommend, by taking your chest number. Is that it?
Yeah. So my chest number was 13 or something. 13 with the screening time. So one guy started as chest number 13 said, and then I was like, okay, fine, let's go with my chest number. And they started, they built it up. It was
that guy
fine.
would have also gotten screened in.
No.
Did he?
No. He did not get screened in.
Not?
No.
Poor fellow. Yeah. But he should have gotten.
And then it was going fine. In between, I gave few even they oriented towards competition itself. I gave a few points like, let this be finals, and then this is half break, which was in my story. And then they agreed. And then there was another story called Talwar Bazi also. So I was like, let's not make completely my story, and then I make it Talwar Bazi.
Great point. Great point.
Yeah. So I tried that. I included that, and also finally after when the officer said, assessor said, there is only 30 seconds remaining. They had to finalize who is gonna narrate the story. So I took the lead and I summarized properly with every point. And then looking after that, everyone they were about to nominate a person. And the assessor said, after I summarized, he was like, I guess we have understood the story. There's no need of summarization.
Oh, that's interesting. They've been trying to modify recently. They have.
Oh, yes. So that happened. And finally, out of there was one more guy who was quite confident and who spoke well in his narration. So me and him got screened in my batch. So out of 204 people, 24 people got screened in. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the psych started the next day. With the psych, I don't remember the images right now. One image which I remember is there's an old man standing around the age of 50, 55. And then there is two younger than him, two men are standing who are faced opposite. And one is facing that side and the other is facing that side. And then the older one is facing the screen, like he's opposite to us. And then he seemed a bit worried.
Okay.
So it was like a tricky image. There are a bit negative emotions and everything. So on that moment, I started with, okay, these two are siblings who are working in so and so company, and then they return to the family, and then their father is dividing the properties. So my main character, what he decided was he was doing well in his life. He has good amount of money. He decides his part to go to the nearby ashrama. Ashrama or I don't remember, old age home or kids homage. But and then hearing that, his father and his sibling were not happy. So they suggested, this is my earned money. Why do you want to give it to someone else? And then the main character walked them spoke them out of it, telling that I'm comfortable with my life. It's better they need more. And then I've been seeing them since childhood. I'm seeing that home the old age room or since childhood. I guess they need and then he finally convinced them, and then
that's interesting.
Finally he managed to get his part of share to them.
Okay.
So this was one story which I, even while writing, I felt unique about it. So I remember
definitely.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
No such idea I've come across.
Yeah, and then WAT went fine. I don't remember anything exactly. And SRT, I wished I could have attended more. I attended only 30 SRTs out of 31 SRTs out of 60.
Okay.
And then STT, it seemed fine. I feel I was properly able to project myself. The assessor. And then interview, it went on like around 45 to 50 minutes for me.
Okay.
As soon as I entered, he told, I just want to know about you, nothing else. So going through, I explained whatever I told right now. I explained that why I'm more inclined towards aerospace engineering, and then why I wanted to get into armed forces right now.
Yeah.
The same thing, and then
he
was interested. My father, just the way you were. I told he's been hardworking since then, so even he's happy right now. And then he told me that what happens if you are medically unfit, and then what will you choose, IIT Madras or DRDO? It's like I said DRDO. Like, are you behind the job or something? It's like no, right now that is a better option. I can study after DRDO, but this so I was able to convince him.
Okay.
And then even I told that my dad is behind me to get a central government, but I was always against him. Only which pleases me is where I'm getting into, which I like to work. So I was able to convince him.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, and GTO, group discussion also. I did not talk too much, but wherever I spoke it, I made sure it had some sense in it. So even though I spoke very less after GD, all my teammates told I spoke well. Okay. So I got my feedback there itself. So it was first topic was around why is India not able to get a lot of medals in Olympics. So one lead was showcasing giving priority to only one sport, or media, the lack of infrastructure or lack of awareness.
Okay.
So one measure, since even here everyone started talking, and then I had to find my moment. So again, I was for sure that everyone will choose any one of the stuff and then go behind it, and then I stopped them, and then I gave valid points for all 3 points. And then gave a weightage to one of the point, and then carried along with it.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so that.
You want to elaborate slightly more on that?
So with that, I guess.
Because usually the perspective is that like you should go with one theme and one theme only.
Though usually the way the leads are, all three will have an influence to one or the other extent. I guess the main goal of GD is not to pick one and tell that as ultimatum, but instead discuss in a well-mannered way how all three are affecting the subject, and then maybe or may not be. That is, I don't think that's a sure thing to give more importance to one or anything, but talking about valid points, telling this is leading, this is doing this way and this is doing this way, and giving a different perspectives altogether is what matters instead of just concentrating on one lead.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's something like democracy, right? The diversity of discussion.
Yeah.
Quite.
So for example, they told media is only concentrating on cricket right now and nothing else. But if we see that the number of people watching Olympics compared to last time to this time has severely increased. We see a lot of people putting stories. You see that people are getting no. It's not just lack of awareness. Yeah, it is there when it comes to school. When people wants when their children to explore different options just other than studies, they're not happy with it. Not everyone, but majorly they want to focus on studies. But if they consider sports also along with studies, I guess it will. This was my point. So I guess it will obviously lead to a better what to say. As a society
Better
also
outcomes
will,
in
better
sports.
yeah. And then lack of infrastructure was another point. If we go back to our schools, from where I come, there are a lot of no, I'm not in a big school, but all the small schools majorly they have volleyball, throwball, and then coco or another two extra sports, but they don't have a lot of exposure to any other things. So to that point, I told about Neeraj Chopra. So last time when Neeraj Chopra won his gold,
medal,
so he started his own academy of for the sports. So he started his own academy of training athletes for different. So even that is that when it comes to infrastructure, we can. I told that point.
Okay.
So I told that even the people who are in that genre and then are responsible and they're responsible enough to take up. So it's when we are lacking somewhere, we are also gaining somewhere. So yeah, that was it.
Okay.
So in this way, I gave my perspective to different leads.
Okay. Crux is like you were not in favor of just one lead, but rather, but you highlighted the also the importance, right? Which is like which one is the more important lead, but it's obviously like all the three leads are interconnected most of the time.
It is obviously it is the sure thing which that is how they give the leads. They'll not give other two leads which is not sensible at all, and they'll obviously give really sensible leads with which you can obviously relate to the given subject. It is our job to give different perspectives with all the three leads, and then
people start fighting over it.
That is one thing, and then that is when we have to I or whoever it is to stop and then give a collective approach to it, and then discuss about it. Instead of we have very less time there. If we can. If we just fight and sit, there's no point of doing the discussion itself. What the assessor wants to know is how can they put up things? How will they behave in a group when they give a sensible matter? So if we behave in sensible way when that is happening, so that doesn't help.
Definitely. Okay, that's interesting.
So moving on, GP. So there was some smuggling happening. There was dam breakage happening. There was one boy got injured. There was one Carlton missing. So these were the things.
Okay.
I prioritize accordingly. What is what? So health, human life is first priority. And I made notes. And then coming to group discussion, one point where I made I gave the weightage for the group was adding time. So everyone were behind. making
Priority.
which
As you, the moment you say go in GP, ठीक है, everyone jumps to priority.
This is second, this is third, and then they'll not even
they'll try to fight each other.
And they'll not divide people. Some will, sometimes they are in a rush to give points, and they are in the rush to get noted. They'll lag behind, and then they'll get noted in a negative way, which is not ideal. Even here, I took it back. I was not. They took over. Okay, fine. I was like, chalo, fine. And then they did not concentrate about time. So we were supposed to reach to other place by 6, while it was 3 here. And then we should get bus around 5:15, 5:30. So by that time, we should have completed all tasks. So what I tried stopping people, and then I pitched that, telling that the first task requires this much. So it is important that we concentrate on how much time we spend on each of the activity. So that, and then I gave for first 2 thing, and then they carried out the time required for other 2 parts, which was sensible. So I remained calm. So and then similarly, walking distance, like one place to other place, I gave a sensible time for it. So if these many people are walking from here to here, this time is required, not more, not less. So I pitched in these ideas. So, and there was one more guy who right next to me, he was also talking sensibly, and he was talking more also. So by the end of GP, I thought I'll nominate him, and then I was about to nominate him. Everyone nominated me.
Okay.
And then fine. I was like, I took the stick, and then I explained. It was fine, and then
that happened.
Went ahead.
That's interesting. You led the entire GP discussion. Fine.
Went ahead with the PGT. So PGT is where I like, what to say. I'll tell. So the thing is, I started. I was in the first, second, or third, always in the PGT. I was having one of the helping materials with me always. And then one thing which I got feedback from my teammates was that sometimes I was very very much focused on my ideas. I was not listening to others. So they told that I was pulling back the group there. I did pull back the group there. So I made note of it after the PGT. So one of my teammates told that you were very focused on your ideas. So I was concentrating on that. That is why I was not able to hear others. So I shouldn't have done that, is what I felt.
I'm not too sure.
I shouldn't have spent a lot of time, is what I
maybe. But then ideation route does take time.
But they were also pitching in their ideas while I was doing mine. So I guess that is where and then finally I guess their idea worked out. So
you should have listened to them.
Bit open ears or something.
More receptive. Okay.
And then group obstacle race went fine. I went along with the group. We almost won, I guess. There were 3 batches. And then because of something they sent us back and then so we were not able to win. So and then half group task was also fine. I was not able. I did not pitch in the ideas. So I took, and then I was executing others' ideas. So I was like, fine. There were 2 different routes. One guy was concentrating on one, and otherwise I was concentrating on one. So I was trying this. So this guy, I told him, wait, we'll look at this. And then when this did not work out, I looked into his idea, and then we worked.
Okay.
And then so we were, and that was also fine. Nothing much.
Interesting.
So and then that day, what else?
So that was PGT and half
PGT obstacle
command task.
Command task.
Obstacles,
command task was next day. So it was something like not completing the obstacle. It was like retrieving something from the center.
Okay. That was bomb.
That was like
That's a tough one.
After there were three different entry points for that. Okay. So I was going through that, and I tried different methods. And then one thing which I observed in one of the one of the way was a pole was there, and then I had a bully a place for Bali was there. So I saw that and I just realized if there's a place for Bali here, this must be the actual way of going in instead of others too. And then I narrowed it to that. And then I
that's
tried out
interesting.
different ways, and then I was able to do it.
Execute one.
Yeah.
That's great.
Till that time, everyone were getting easy, and then people who went with them were telling easy. So mine was quite
Tough, on the
yeah,
tougher side.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
And then
How many people called you for their?
I was not called once also.
Oh my god.
Yeah, maybe because of the way I was in PGT.
Yeah, probably.
But they initially considered me as an option, but they did not choose me.
Acha, okay. Interesting.
Like I was sure that because of that no one will call me. So like fine, sure, that's fine. But they were like I was going and doing good with them. Nothing. And also
no hard
this is also
feelings,
very
nothing.
good important thing. The group which we get. Going along with them also helps a lot in group tasks.
Definitely.
Yeah, I was doing good with everyone, so it was fine.
Okay.
And then lecturate, which I was like scared the most. I because of all the things I was not able to properly prepare on current events or all the different topics which we get. And then I had few topics, so I prepared for it. I thought if I get anything on this, I'll go with it. And then if not, I thought of going with the easier one.
Acha.
And then I don't remember the other things. I got online gaming, so I gave 2 pros and 2 cons about it, and then I completed lecture 8. I was quite scared for this the most compared to everything else, and yeah, it went fine.
Okay.
I gave 2 pros and 2 cons. I like
Summarized
everything, and then I categorized and gave spoke about each and everything like properly. I divided everything properly, so that was fine.
Okay. Organizing of the lecture. Fine. Yeah, perfect.
So that was fine.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So
This
that's
when-
that lecture. It is also done. Individual obstacles. How many
Individual obstacle, I'm a bit shy to say that. I was only able to complete 3. I was very weak during that time. And also it had rained.
You were.
And
Obviously,
one or-
I mean, after they were recovering from dengue and stuff.
And 2 or 3 I was unable to complete the not Tarzan jump. The one where we go with the rope. Yeah, I guess Tarzan jump. So I tried twice, so I spent time there a bit. So and then the screen jump also I pushed the screen. So yeah, this happened. Everyone after my obstacle course on even recently yesterday in medicals and everything they were like I completed 8, I completed 11. I was very shy, so I did not open my mouth during that. I was very shy about it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So I was only able to complete 3.
But did the interviewing officer know that you had recently recovered from dengue?
Yeah. I told him that. So why not?
But did it come up in the conference?
A conference. As soon as I went in, he was like, "What are you doing right now?" So I told in Madras and doing a master's in aerospace engineering, and then he was like, "You're already doing that. Why do you want this?" So I told my NCC journey, and then I have passion for my aviation aerospace field. So combining both will be good for both. Myself, I told the same answer. I was like, yeah, fine. And then he asked me about my, how do you feel about my SSB? I was like, yeah, it was fine. So it's like, you don't feel convincing. Why is it so? So I told, and one more thing in the interview was I was giving very long answers. So he was always asking me to give short and crisp answers. So I told that I should have been short and crisp in interview. And and one more thing, when it comes to psychological psych test, I told I should have attended more SRTs. And when it comes to GTO, I told the PGT one, I should have listened to my teammates, and that I pulled my team back. So I shouldn't have done that. I was like, okay, fine. And then he asked me to stay, and then I told it was good. That's all.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. So nice. And then all my teammates were telling that I have a sure shot of getting recommended. So we 24 were standing in line. Then out of us, 2 of us got recommended.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So and then I was one of them.
How was the feeling?
And the thing was, on the day of after getting recommended, like I was 70 to 80% new. Like the way I performed, I was confident enough to say that I would get recommended. I have higher chances, and I also had my teammates like another batches whom I felt were worthy enough to get recommended. So I was quite sad that they were not recommended, and I was not able to feel my joy of getting recommended. And then when I called my mom and told that I got recommended, she was very happy and everything. I actually felt the happy after clearing CPSs.
Okay.
Oh my god, I was very skeptical. I was very scared, given that it's only once and everything. Very scared about
Once in a lifetime
CPSs.
kind of test.
And then I was not good with games before. I used to get bored with any of the games. I don't like games.
Oh my god.
So
How did you?
yeah, somehow I was scared, and for the cognitive ability, I met someone in medicals, and then he gave a few PDFs for instrument reading and stuff. So that helped me. And then after that, that was like after getting recommended, I met him in the evening. He sent me some few PDFs. Throughout the night and in the morning, I studied, and like I went through that PDF.
Okay.
And then after that,
that must have taken some load off.
yeah. So cognitive ability was everyone cleared, and in the CPSs, yeah, I was, and then once in between, wing commander came and told me that I'm lagging behind with time, so he asked me to do fast. So it scared the shit out of me again. I was like, fine, okay. Somehow I said, which my main goal. So what I'm doing, I should do right, and I should do my part. Again, that was running in my head. So I was not nervous, but I was scared.
Okay.
So yeah,
Great point here.
Yeah.
I mean, I was not nervous, but I was scared.
yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so somehow after that, after CPS is when I was like, chalo, okay,
Like,
recommend ho gaya. CPS is clear ho gaya.
That's crazy.
I was like, after that, I was like proud of myself.
Do they have a merit issue in this particular
No.
entry?
As of now, with the group which have formed in WhatsApp group, there are 20 vacancies, including boys and girls. As per the people who have filled the sheets, it's just 14 people who are recommended.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
there are people who haven't. There might be people who haven't filled the form, but yeah, fine.
Maybe.
But it seems fine. There are no merit issues.
That's interesting. And you qualified your medicals?
Yeah, so medicals, SMB mein, I have this ptosis in my right eye upper lid, which is a droppy upper lid. Lid is a bit droppy. So it seems that my right eye seems lesser and like smaller than compared to left eye.
Okay.
So the main issue with this is that in extreme cases it will come in the field of vision. So it will obstruct the field of vision, and this is for me. This is by birth for me. So it hasn't been any. I have vision is fine. So because of this, I was rejected in SMB, and then I appealed in AMB. That is why I'm in here in Delhi right now.
Acha, okay. So hopefully you'll make it through. Hopefully. And you'll be going to the academy too. So that's great. That's great, Ullas. So
Yes.
I've personally had a really wonderful time interacting with you, getting to know your story, and everything. So, and I'm sure everyone will have an interesting time.
And one more point, guys. This was my first interview. If anything else, so I was also scared. So just take it with a pinch of salt. That's it.
Yeah, definitely, it was a good one.
Yeah.
So on that note, guys, it's Shashank signing off with Ullas. Until next time. See you.